Hello and welcome to my arena. Workshop. I got this thing. Funny story, I almost didn't get this for two reasons. One is because I really wanted new players to have this, but two, my LGS has a list of players who could buy this, and I was not on the list. Like, I know I haven't been there too much lately, but come on, guys. But yeah, the store owner apologized. He thought he put me on the list, but I wasn't. Luckily, they had one left, and I do want one for two reasons. One, I want to sleeve it up and bring it with me, so I always have a deck that someone can use. I also want to try it to see how well it plays. And I have a little experiment I want to try with this pile here. We'll go into that later, though. Anyways, this is the Kayo Armory Deck. Has a bit of controversy right now. If you've been on Twitter, you've even seen some of my posts where people aren't too happy with this product, but many are. There's a lot of defenders. I am one of the defenders. There are a lot of offenders, counter, and they have good points. Don't get me wrong. These people have good points about the power level of this deck, what you get, and etc., etc. And I can't disagree with all of them. However, this is a starter deck, more or less. Similar to these starter decks, they're not supposed to be that powerful. They're good starting points. And given that this is what LSS thinks an armory level should be, I'm inclined to believe them, or agree with them, because armories are not competitive events. Can you bring your spike deck to an armory? Yeah, you can. It doesn't mean you're going to make a lot of friends or have a lot of good memories. But if your armory has a lot of competitive players already, that don't let me stop you from having your fun. Just remember, if that new guy walks in, don't be surprised if he doesn't come back the next day because you creamed him. Off the start, I'm going to say I'm a little disappointed with this packaging because you can hear something shuffling in there. I don't know if that's because of the way they designed this thing. We'll find out when we open it. I'm sure there's been plenty of box opening videos already. I'm sure Red Zone and DMA and whatnot. Sloop Doop's definitely doing a review of this product whenever he gets it. So I'm gonna drop in the bucket of looking at this thing, but we'll look at it anyways. First things first, we're gonna open it because of the fancy plastic sheathing. And I'll probably cut this out because who wants to watch someone try to rip open a plastic bag? I'm getting a knife. Well, look what I found. My lucky box opening sword. Let's open it up and see what we got. Bump the microphone. Alright, starting off, we got it's actually a nicely designed box. I'll give him that. It's, same with the Classic Battles box. I think the box design is really good. They have this very strange design that's not a rectangle. And unlike the Classic Battles, this one actually has a tear tab at the bottom, making me believe they wanted you to reuse this box as a deck box. Which is one of my complaints, was that you buy this and how do you store your deck afterwards? The Classic Battles really had no way of storing the decks after you sleeve them, so maybe they fixed that here. Let's find out. No, not really. It's just a box. I guess you could put it back in this cardboard thing, but it seems kind of complicated. A lot of complaints people had was there was really nothing in this box. And yeah, I see that. There is literally nothing in this box. No fake playmats, no instructions, no lore, no nothing. And that's kind of a points against them for that. At least the Classic Battles had a lore booklet and a playmat. Well, it was paper. And around the table had a real playmat and a storage box. So really, all you're getting is a deck. And that's kind of bad. But looking at the strength rules all, it is foil, so that's kind of cool. Let's open this up and take a look. Hopefully they at least put tokens in here. If there's no tokens in here, that's also a downside. Really hate these plastic covers for decks. It always feels like you're going to damage the cards opening it. So we have KO, Armed and Dangerous. This is a, oh, it's a Majestic. I mean, he's already Majestic already, but, oh, they also, no, never mind. Just a little thing. I was hoping they did. So they brought back the full art, quote-unquote token cards. I kind of missed these being in the Blitz decks. They were really a nice little addition. So at least had some points for them for that. However, it is young KO, but since it's just a decorative art piece, it doesn't really matter too much. Also, KO Armed and Dangerous is not foiled, but I'm guessing there's a reason for that. 1 Mandible Claw, and they did include Might and Agility tokens. And then, yeah, I'll be back. So, believe it or not, it's been 2 days since I was recording earlier and stuff came up, and it took a while to get back to this, so let's finish this off. We're not going to go over the deck too much because we've all seen the deck list, we've all seen the Savage Sash, which I'll admit I didn't know it was rainbow foil, so that's pretty cool and makes me think there's going to be a Savage Sash as a possible expansion slot card in MST or a future set. High Tanner's foil, that's pretty cool. And 1 copy of Run Roughshod and Strength Rules All is also foil, which was confusing at first why they only foil 1 of them, but some of the other fab people out there have explained how you could just trade this foil one for whatever cards you want to make this a playable deck. Because, you know, the deck's not playable. Okay, I'm gonna let that go because we've all been put in our place about that. Well, some of us have. Many have not. And I get it. You get so used to the current meta, and by meta I mean like Armory meta. You get so used to the current casual meta, you forget that this game, despite only being 4 years old, has so many ways you can play the game. There are strategies out there that no one's thought of, just because we all focus on the same strategy. I'm gonna play KO. What do I need? I need Apex Armbreaker. I need Scab Skin Leathers because it's the only leg legendary piece that blocks for 3. I need what's the helmet? I need Balance of Justice and Crown of Providence. One's in the sideboard and one I'm equipped with, and that's it. That's all you think about. You don't think about anything else because you're so used to the current strategy. But LSS prints this stuff for a reason. And it's not just for the poor people. I mean, some of it might be, but it's not. That's not the only reason these cards exist. So if you can get this at MSRP, get it. If you want to play KO and you have no idea where to start, get it. Don't worry about the people saying it doesn't have Blood Rush, it doesn't have Swing Big, it doesn't have insert staple for Brute here. You don't need the staples. You don't need the Arcane Barrier. Well, you might. Okay, if you're gonna see a Kano, ask for Arcane Barrier. If you don't see a Kano, don't worry about Arcane Barrier. Don't worry about a sideboard. Learn to play the game, and then make your sideboard. That kind of ranted out of nowhere. Anyways, that's the KO deck. Overall, I'd say this is a mid product. I know, I went through all the trouble defending it. It's pretty mid, and it's not because of the deck list. It's because the packaging. It's just, you have a box and you have a deck. And while that's simple, you have a box that can't even store the cards again. Why? At least the Blitz decks, you could put them back in. LSS, if you're going to continue this way, if you're going to continue with just a deck, just do this. I mean, make it bigger, obviously. At least this, I can carry my deck around, and I can play it without sleeves like a savage. This, I don't know how many people, hang on, I got a microphone in the way. I don't know how many people want to carry around their decks like this. I know one guy on Twitter said he did. More power to him. That's not me, though. I am not comfortable carrying it like this. Just buy a cheap deck box for like $5. Yeah, you can do that.
I mean, or, you know, I don't know. Cool. Art looks cool though, so we'll give it points for that. Alright, I've been the Jank Mechanologist. This is the Kayo Armory Deck. If you want to see the deck list, check out fabtcg.com and check out the Kayo Armory Deck list. It's everywhere. Everyone's seen it, everyone's complained about it, everyone knows it. And if you want to see this deck played, check out TCG Ted's channel. Him and Nate did a thing where they played this deck unmodified, no sideboard, and the results may or may not surprise you. This deck, it slaps, according to Nate. Alright, I'm going to go work on something else, which is going to be a Blitz deck for my next armory.